That's what real sweet sauce.
That was vile.
Smack my titties around.
Hey, everybody. Sweet tea. Back.
I beat you in fantasy this week.
You did. You did. For now.
Which, to be fair, you were kind of crippled, so.
All of them, half my team had COVID or.
Although, you have to admit, okay, I'm struggling in the quarterback spot. Tom Brady's a little wishy-washy crybaby right now. And I just can't get a defense. The Cowboys blew, and now the Patriots are all sick. So, I just can't get a defense going. But my running back core is, mid-tier. Not bad. They put up some numbers.
You got some decent guys.
But my receivers are woo! Woo!
I don't even know who you have. Who do you have? You have Mike Evans?
No, I got Hopkins, Hill, and Metcalf.
Yeah, you got some good
ones. Yeah, this is pretty good. Anyway, enough about fantasy.
For other teams.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Squeep.
So, anything crazy happened this week?
Well, I have...
Did in the racing world, so.
I have NHRA. My papa told me this. They dropped the Mellow Yellow sponsorship.
Was that like
series sponsor?
Oh, okay. So, like NASCAR had Monster.
Yeah, it was the NHRA Mellow Yellow drag racing series.
Okay.
No longer. Mellow Yellow backed out.
Interesting.
They got Cheery Feet, so now it's Camper World. Seems like a very weird pickup. It used to be Powerade. Long time ago.
Camper World. Okay.
Long time ago it was Powerade.
Right. I remember
then Mellow Yellow picked it up, which is just a shitty version of Mountain Dew. Let's be real.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Whoops.
And then now Camper World.
Okay.
So.
They're trying to compete with Gander RV.
Yeah.
Gander Outdoor RV.
And what I was trying to look up was I saw this video of Ron Capps.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if this was an old thing that happened or if it was new. Or not. That's why I was trying to look it up to double check.
Yeah.
But the video was kind of cool because he was driving his funny car, his Napa funny car, and it blew up in his face, obviously because the motor's in front in the funny car.
Yep.
You couldn't really, not ball of flames blow up, but you could tell it, split the body in half. And, I mean, it was pretty nasty explosion.
Yeah.
So, Matt Hagan was next to him. He slows down with the chute. Ron Capps deploys chute, but he doesn't really slow the car down because he wants to try to get ahead of Matt Hagan.
So he doesn't blow up and hit him or cut his chute or something?
No, he was hot. You could tell he was in the car, waving people, safety safari, to him, and he took it all the way to the back of the track and spun the bitch sideways to slow it down. He actually took the car.
He couldn't slow down.
No, he could, but he chose to kind of keep it up to speed and then drift into the end of the track where the safety safari guys are. So when something happens, they got, people there that put out the fire or whatever, but they come in at the back of the track. There's an entrance in the back of the track. So he went to them and turned the car sideways to slow it down. And he wheeled out of the car. And I mean, he was fine, but it was just really cool to see that.
Just whipping it.
Yeah. And it was funny because the one announcer was for people to think NHRA isn't racing, you have somebody get in a car, have it explode in your face at 330 miles an hour.
Yeah.
And now you got to stop it while it's on fire in front of you.
Speaking of people who don't think drag racing's racing, I'm in a Facebook group for iRacing and stuff.
Yeah.
And they had asked why iRacing hasn't implemented drag racing,
mm-hmm.
which you had said that if that happens, you would do it.
Yes. Is there news on that front?
No.
Damn it.
Because it's a very American sport, right? It's very
it's not international.
It's huge in America.
Yeah.
And the guy posed that question. It's a really good. Why wouldn't we have that feature in iRacing? It would drive a lot of diversity of different types of racing.
Yeah.
Right now we have road, dirt, or oval.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you got dirt oval or dirt road, whatever, rallycross and stuff.
Yeah, but you can add so much shit to that if you just add a drag track.
Quarter mile, half mile.
Snowmobiles, bikes.
Yeah.
Any type of car from...
Talk about, reeling in the money.
Yeah. For sure.
And the guys below are it doesn't take skill to drive in a straight line. This guy's hold up.
Yeah.
Hold up.
Some of these dudes shift this shit.
It's not the same set of skills that it takes to drive in a road course, but you put a road course guy into a drag
can't do
strip,
it.
generally they aren't going to be as successful.
Yeah.
You don't even try and compare the two. They're two different types of racing.
Pro stock drivers are like sitting there and they got their hand on one thing and they're one hand on the steering wheel. So now they got to keep this car straight at 200 plus miles an hour with one hand.
With one hand.
Because they have to shift it with the other hand. And I mean, they're like they're slamming it like every like half a second. I mean, they're like, meep, 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 meep. And it was like,
you miss a shift, you blow up the engine.
yeah. You could seriously
you kill yourself or other people.
Yeah.
You're telling
and
me
the
that
bikes
doesn't
too,
add
the bikes,
skills or pressure? Those dudes are even more insane. They have
sometimes
no
I see
protection
their
inside the
dudes
head.
like whip their legs like because the thing gets like kind of
trying to balance them out again.
Yeah, so it was kind of cool. Again, I don't know if that was recent or if that was an old clip, but I saw it scrolling. Hold on.
Before I get into my news, I'll ask one of Kluge's stupid ass questions today. Why don't chickens wear underwear?
Squeep.
Because they're peckers on their head.
Nice.
Or on their face.
Nice. You fucked it up. That's even better.
Because I hate it. It's just obnoxious. So, I posted today asking for the questions. And I used Michael Schumacher's helmet. And this goes into my news. The reason is this past weekend, Lewis Hamilton tied the record for most wins.
Oh.
Which was Michael Schumacher's at 91. I mean, that's a lot of races to win.
Yeah.
In Formula 1. It's not even Formula 2, Formula 3, karts, whatever. It's just Formula 1 races.
Right.
And I think last year we saw Kyle Busch. I think it was last year.
Busch beer guy.
Yeah. He had won 100 races overall in Gander Mountain outdoor, like the trucks, the Xfinity, and Cup. And everyone's like, oh my God, that's amazing. And other people are like, it doesn't really count because it's only a certain part in each. But he's done 100 in Formula 1, which is the toughest racing in the world. Well, not anymore.
You're probably going to catch flack for that one.
It's not tough anymore because all you got to do is sit in the Mercedes and walk it to the end. As long as you're in the Mercedes, you're bound to win at least one or two times. Like, if he was in a different car, he would. I mean, he's good. Don't get me wrong. He's not. He's amazing. If he was in a different car, he wouldn't be winning this much. But that's with every type of racing.
Yeah.
However, he tied
God
one of the coolest racing records in the history. He did it in more races though, so not as cool. But Schumacher did it in like 20 less races or something like that.
Oh,
10 less races.
Yeah.
But so it was really cool. And so, do you know anything about Michael Schumacher?
No, I was just gonna look up if they're any relation to the Schumacher of drag racing, but I doubt it.
I don't think so. He's, I think, a German.
Yeah, I highly doubt it.
Very, very talented race car driver.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I've heard of him for sure.
He retired and then came out of retirement and went back and raced again. However, in 2000, I think it was like 2012, he got into a skiing accident.
Oh.
And I think I'm pretty sure he was wearing a helmet. But he's immobile.
Yeah.
And can't talk, and like he lays in the bed and that kind of stuff. He's not there.
Quad or paraplegic?
I don't know the difference.
Quad is all four limbs, so up to your neck.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Okay, yeah, so funged him up pretty bad.
Yeah, they've been saying that he's making progress, but they won't release details. But no one's heard like the actual status of him.
How long ago was this?
Like 6-7 years ago.
Oh, really? Wow.
But he's alive. He's doing better than he was.
Sure.
But his son, Mick Schumacher, is now an up and coming star.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, your dad's a star, so why wouldn't you be a star?
Yeah, really. Right.
And after Lewis Hamilton had won the race and tied his father's record, he gave his father's helmet to him, which is kind of like that's why I posted the helmet.
Ah.
He came up to the podium and was like, "Here, this is, records are meant to be broken. This."
Right.
And it was just like a really cool symbolic moment. But yeah. Then we go into NASCAR. What a joke NASCAR is.
Yeah, 2013.
I'm just kidding. Not a joke. Love you.
Skiing accident.
Yeah.
Damn, son.
Chase Elliott won, as always, on road courses, because fuck Chase Elliott. At one point, Willie B was doing really well.
Willie B.
But it was an interesting race, and 4 more drivers got booted. Austin Dillon, Eric Almirola, Clint Boyer, and...
What's up with him, dude? Is he done?
Oh, yeah, he retired. Hold on, bro.
Oh, okay.
Just getting into that. I don't
Sorry.
know who else didn't make it. Why can't I think?
Oh, and he got the boot, and he's done, too, so he's, like, done.
Yeah. Well, no, he still races next week.
Oh, yeah, right. We talked about that.
Yeah. I for the life of me cannot think of who else got booted. Oh, Kyle Busch. Duh.
Busch Beer.
It's one of the first seasons that he's been booted.
I'm using this. It's a
But he still hasn't won, which is his big thing. But yeah, Clint Boyer is retiring, and so
I just want, for the people that don't watch the video and are listening to this, go watch the video, because there's a little race car on the bookshelf.
There's a little race car,
and I'm playing with it like I'm 5 years old. All right, I'm done. Anyway, sorry.
Squeak. So I'm under the impression that Boyer was told by Stuart Haas that he wasn't going to get re-signed, and he said that he wanted to retire there. So instead of going to look for more, because he could probably still race in a different team and still bring a lot of whether funding or anything like that to the team, because it's Clint Boyer.
Yeah.
He's just like the people's person.
The people's
champion.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, that's right. Never mind.
That's The Rock, isn't it?
Sure.
Sure.
I'd smash The Rock.
I think he'd smash you.
I don't know. Maybe he's into that like submissive shit. Who knows?
I'm so big, but I like to be manhandled.
Yeah.
So I think that's why he's retiring, and he's going up to the booth, which he's great. He's great on the booth, and him and Jeff Gordon are going to be stellar together. We already saw it during COVID when they were iRacing.
Oh,
because he was just they were bantering, and it's going to be good. It's good for him. I just wish that he was able to win, because he was looking pretty good yesterday. It would have been cool for him to win. It'd be cool for Jimmy Johnson to win too in his last year, but I'll get heat for that. People hate Jimmy Johnson. Jimmy Johnson's Tom Brady of NASCAR. Just the guy who always wins.
Well,
but he hasn't won in 2 years, so
everybody has their fall. I think we're witnessing the fall of Tom Brady.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. He should have retired. There's no reason for him to go to Tampa Bay.
That's tough.
Yeah.
Either that or stayed with the Patriots.
Yeah. They didn't want him.
It's because Belichick knows.
Yeah, he's like, you're done.
On his way out.
But we also had IMSA racing at Charlotte for the first time in like 30 years, I think. 20 years, something like that. At the Roval. So it was a NASCAR IMSA weekend, sharing the track, and it downpoured and was torrential downpour and all that kind of stuff.
Nice.
It was cool. It was a good race. Exciting-ish, kind of. But we move. I'm not doing the standings anymore. It's too difficult with COVID going on. It's too difficult because teams back out the day of.
Oh, those standings.
Which standings?
Where did I place?
We're not officially. I'm gonna do the last race. That's it.
Okay.
Because that's
your boy better get that motherfucking top 3.
But like, does that make sense though? It's so difficult to keep up with who's racing and who's not.
Yeah. Yeah, because everybody's like, ooh, I don't wanna.
Or they're like, yeah, we're coming. Last minute they go, sorry,
Dunzo.
Yeah, and that's the day before, and everyone's already made their choices, and they pick that car.
Yeah.
I did that. It happened to me with Paul Miller, and
also that's why you're changing. You're just salty because you fucking.
Oh, I wasn't expecting to win, so.
Oh, okay.
I'm 20 points behind you guys. Not really. I'm like 15, but 10, 15. Can you stop? You disgusting slime ball. I don't think that was the only kind of racing though. I don't know. So yeah, that's exciting.
I got one more thing.
Oh yeah, okay.
In the Monster Jam world.
Monster Jam.
I saw this thing last night.
Are they going?
Yeah. I think.
If I asked you that question already.
Apparently there's different series in Monster Jam now. Didn't know that?
How do you make it different?
It's called the Triple Threat series.
Okay.
I didn't know this was a thing. Now, you have the original Monster Jam that I grew up with, which was freestyle and racing. That was it.
Right. How
That's
fast
all
you
you did.
can get around the...
Yeah, they had
that
some
particular
course
shit.
set up where you start in the back and then you run, one-on-one with another guy, and then you do a straight shot. Like, you go from a start lane and then you do a straight shot down the side, and then you both turn towards the inside of the track,
Right.
and then straight shot again.
Right.
Whoever crosses...
And there's like obstacles and shit.
Yeah, like ship to jump or
And then
whatever.
Freestyle is just doing like tricks.
Yeah. Then
Over
just,
like ramps and
how many points
how many
you can
cars
get for...
you can jump and...
Yeah. So, and these are all in indoor stadiums.
Right.
Some are bigger than others. Some are smaller than others. Some guys, like back in the day, the Dennis Anderson Gravedigger era, where it was
Gravedigger.
Dennis Anderson and Tom Mentz from Max D. First of all, I saw a clip of Tom Mentz yesterday. This motherfucker is insane. If you don't know who Tom Mentz is, go look up Tom Mentz highlights from Max D. He's a maniac. He's an absolute maniac.
I mean, I feel like you kind of have to beat a monster.
He's my favorite. This dude doesn't
What
care.
did he drive?
Maximum Destruction. Max D.
Is that the one with the bull?
No, that's El Toro Loco.
El Toro Loco.
Max D is like Gravedigger's rival. So Tom Mentz formed the team, drove for him for many years. He is nuts. He was doing a freestyle event recently, and he got the truck on its side just by happenstance, like hit a ramp and then got the thing sideways, but didn't just leave it like that. He angled the tires and then started driving and got the thing to do like
spin up.
spin on its side, and then he was able to get it to bounce up on all fours. Like, I don't know how this dude does this shit, man. Like, he is so well in tune with that vehicle.
Yeah.
Anyway, there's my Tom Mentz wet moment. So Triple Threat series. Sweet. Trying to remember. You get... I think it's a...
This is great. This is a great...
So I think you get the race with the monster truck. Okay. Then you get the donut challenge with the monster truck. So it's just like the best donut. Speed. If you're staying in one area, if you're like kind of like moving around, kind of shitty. Then you race ATVs. This is fucking weird.
Okay.
Then you race these like... They kind of are almost like a gator. But it's like a little
Like
off-road buggy
Yeah.
thing. You race those. And those are nuts because you hit each other with that. Like, it's not like... I just farted. I don't know if the mic's going to pick that up. Try to announce it. I don't know if you...
Finish your damn thing.
I don't know if you, like... I don't know if you can do this with the ATVs. I don't think you can hit people because it's open.
Mm-hmm.
But these things have, like, roll cages and shit in them. So, like, they're, like... I was watching the one last night, and the Gravedigger and the Max D one. The Gravedigger had his one tire up on the back tire of the Max D one. Like, he kept hitting him because he's trying to pass him, and he's trying to spin him out. It was really funny. And then they do freestyle with the truck. And I think there's another one in there. I didn't quite see all of it last night. Where it's like a watered down monster truck, almost like a mud truck.
Okay.
It's not near as big. It looked insane. It's its own series. Didn't know they did that.
Yeah, that's weird.
And they said they did it because some stadiums they go to are small. And it brings up the point, like, these trucks are huge.
Yeah.
And you're like, they used to bring these trucks to Blue Cross Arena.
Yeah. Not a big stadium.
That's not. It really isn't. And it's like, that's tough to...
That's where the Buffalo Sabres farm team plays.
It gets boring
Yeah, because there's only so much you can do.
Because there's only so much room you have. There's only, so they bring this in to spruce it up a little bit. Obviously, it's Monster Jam. It's monster trucks. You still have the monster truck, but they add a little
extra flavor.
Yeah, just it's fun. It's goofy. It's not really competitive. They still have the super competitive series,
right?
That some of these people drive in, but they have big name trucks there. Gravedigger was there. El Toro Loco was there. It's kind of cool. I didn't know it was a thing.
Yeah, no, that's cool. That is cool. We should go to one.
Dude, that would be...
Well, when everything opens up.
I went to one at Blue Cross Arena when I was a kid, and I barely remember that. And then I went to... They actually had the Equalizer here at the fair.
The Genesee County Fair?
No. The one
State Fair?
Yeah.
Syracuse?
No. The one in Caledonia. I'm sorry. The little fair in Caledonia.
Isn't that the Genesee County Fair?
No, Genesee County.
Oh, no, that's... Yeah. You're right. Okay.
Caledonia. Which
with
was...
the track.
Yeah.
The demo derbies and all that.
Right. So my dad was in charge of getting the cars for it to run over, which was kind of funny.
That makes sense.
And there's a picture of me as a kid sitting inside the rim of the tire.
The blue truck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like blue and white.
Yep.
So that was kind of cool. I remember that one more than I remember the Blue Cross Arena event. But yeah, no,
that's cool.
They're cool. I like monster trucks.
Nice trucks.
Big truck. Run me over because I don't want to live anymore.
Kluge is honestly worthless. He goes. This is one of the questions that I've received from my asking of questions. Kansas ?
Like the band Kansas? Or
no. So we're in iRacing. We're going to Kansas this week, and in NASCAR they're going to Kansas this week. But that's not like saying one word and then question mark is not a question. Kansas is going to be great. Is that what you want me to say?
Kansas, the band, isn't bad. They're not great, but they're not bad.
It could be better. Kansas is a track much like Las Vegas, which we have had success at, much like Michigan, which we had success at. It's a 1.5 miles, I think.
The real question is, Kluge, are you going to be getting heat for doing bad, or is this going to be Tom's fault?
This kid freaking promised me a win, a victory a week.
Promise him another one.
And he's missed 3 out of 6, so...
You got to bring that percentage up, my guy.
Yeah.
It's a little low. Come on.
Yeah.
Do better.
Right. Do better. What else? What else we got here?
Boogie, I love you.
And then Josh Mullen asks, why is it that Ryan Blaney sucks so much and Chase Elliott is just so good?
Ooh. He did that one just to kick you in the taint.
Yeah. Well, yeah. And, I mean, he's a Chase Elliott fan, so he likes to rub.
Yeah.
Blaney doesn't suck, first off. Well, he sucked these past, 12 races. But
That's kind of a lot, dude.
There's 36 races. Plenty of other races. He's not... His team made him suck most of those races due to pit stop errors, a terrible car, pit stop errors every freaking race. This past race, he made a mistake and didn't miss the rain or the wet spot of the track and just plowed into the grass. But he recovered and got 5th, so he did fine. He just sucked when he was actually in the playoffs. But he had bad luck because his team was just shit. And then he goes, what are your thoughts on the seating arrangements and how they're panning out so far? Kyle Larson to the 88 confirmed. Not actually. Not yet, but it's going to happen. 88. Kluge thinks it's going to be a different number. I think it's going to be 88.
So they're bringing him back.
I think so. So I think I talked about it. The reason that he had to sit down with Chevy and NASCAR for as long as he did instead of it just being just NASCAR or whatever is because he's going to a Chevy team again. And that particular car is sponsored heavily by the Chevy parts. Which, that's where you get Chevy parts from. Yeah. From the dealer. Mm-hmm. So I think that's why he had to do it. Because if he wasn't going back to a Chevy, he wouldn't have. Honestly, there would be no reason.
What?
If that makes sense. What?
How does that conversation go? You just go to NASCAR and Shep and be like, I made big no.
Yeah, no, he goes in there, he goes, hey, you know, he owns up to all the mistakes he's made or whatever. He has a statement. He has so he did the no, right? Immediately started working on doing diversity things. What? So he like there's a program in Philadelphia that does youth stuff for racing, and he's donated time, money, and all that kind of stuff to it. And like he did that before it was mandated by NASCAR to do stuff, because he wanted to rectify the situation that he was in because of a stupid error like that. You know what I mean? So that's how that conversation goes. Is he's just like, these are all the things that I've done to make myself better. I promise that I understand what I did wrong. It'll never happen again. These are all the ways that I fixed it. These are all the ways that I'm prepared to continue fixing it. These are all the ways that I want to be a better human. That's how that conversation goes.
Okay.
Whether it's real or not, like.
Yeah, I have my opinions.
It's
a tough situation.
It's got to be a two-way street, and they allow a lot of other things to happen. So
yeah.
Can't make how's someone else allowed to make fun of someone else's religion? Doesn't face any penalties.
Yeah, that's true.
It's got to be a two-way street, and I think he's going to be.
This is a very polarizing topic, because you're going to either get people in the community that are going to be like, no, why is this happening? Right. Or you're going to get the people that are like, thank God.
Yeah. I think this particular situation is going to be a great way of, obviously we're talking a lot about equality and that kind of stuff in the current climate. I think it's a great way for motorsport to actually punish everybody equally, or give second chances, or whatever.
Start to
figure out what needs to actually be done. Yeah, instead of allowing one person to get away with everything.
Yeah,
unfortunately. And then I'm not saying what he did was right. You know what I mean? And we've talked about this.
We have plenty of time talked about that. It's one of those things where it's like, look at
it's a very hard situation, and I agree with you where
it's uncomfortable conversation.
Yeah,
you're either, like I said, I'm curious to see where the fan base lies on, like, if we had more fans, I would say we could do a poll of like,
yeah.
What do you think?
I'll set one up. See if anybody. Do you think Kyle Larson should be welcomed back,
or do you think more should be done?
Right.
And again, we talked about it before. I'm not saying he's donezo completely either.
What do you mean?
I'm saying, like, I'm not saying his career's over. He can race again.
Oh,
I'm more on the. I'm skeptical on just how.
Like, he should. You think he should start over?
I think there should be. I don't know. I guess, but it's tough, because if I say, like, I think there should be a little more done about it, then the whole thing is going to be like, well,
what do they do?
Well, what do they do? A, and then B, like, this is now worse than something else that's gone on.
Yeah.
So you have to either set your precedents, or you have to go with what you got. And at this point, I think they've recognized that, like, look, there's been shit that's gone on that should probably have been more punished when that happened.
Right.
And we never did it.
So for instance,
it's a very tough situation now to be like, oh, let's give this dude the hammer.
Yeah.
And it's like, well,
you didn't do this for that guy.
Yeah, you haven't done it for anybody else that's done, not the same shit, but shit that should have probably.
Kurt Busch beat his wife.
I didn't know that.
I didn't either. Kluge just told me that like 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
And he was like, how? Because I was talking about how before all the announcements of this past 2 weeks were made, I was still under the impression that Kyle Larson wasn't going back to a Chevy team. He was going to go to a Ford.
Yeah.
Because Stuart Haas was like, "We love you. I will absolutely take you back. You've completed enough disciplinary actions to come back. And he was like, or he asked me, I think we were talking about why he wasn't going back to Chevy or something like that. And he goes, Chevy took Kurt back. And I was like, what do you mean? He was like, he beat his wife, or allegedly beat his wife, whatever. And in most instances, like, that's another time that we would say that could have been punished differently. He was I think he was suspended for like 4 or 5 races or something like that. Or maybe more. It could have been more. I don't know the full story.
Yeah.
To report on that. But yeah, it's a difficult.
Well, you have to see what your precedent was. Like, you just have to go back and look.
And who would ever write a precedent for this?
Well, agreed. But it's one of those things where, like, you see it in other sports too. You see in the NFL all the time. There's some shit that's going on. You know, there's been murder allegations. There's been freaking
Ray Lewis, like,
yeah,
he's the number went on and won a Super Bowl a year after he was
the whole Aaron Hernandez thing that happened.
Murderer.
Again, like, yeah, I mean, I come from a neuroscience background. That's what I studied in school, and I get that he was, like, his brain was goofed up, but there's still a part of you that has to not be right.
Yeah.
To begin with.
Yeah.
As far as my opinion on that. But the dude knowingly killed people and then played and went to a Super Bowl and I think won.
Yeah.
That same year. Like, it's kind of...
Yeah. And Tyreek Hill hit his child, broke his child's arm. Ray Rice beat his wife.
Yeah, and Tyreek Hill's like my leading receiver.
Yeah.
I mean,
Adrian Peterson spanked his kid. That was overly aggressive the way they treated Adrian Peterson, but
well, considering, right? I mean, Tyreek Hill breaks the kid's arm,
suspended for like 4 games,
and then the other dude, he gives him a little, old school discipline. That's a no-no,
right?
That one's kind of like, maybe.
Ray Rice is completely shunned from the NFL.
Yeah,
it's like we need a common ground here. If you beat your child, beat a woman, whatever, if any of these things happen,
there's too many inconsistencies.
Dunzo, right? There's way too many.
It's a very similar.
It's
concept
also
when
for punishing. We'll say for inconsistency in punishing, they wouldn't let. I think it was D'Angelo Williams, maybe. I think that was his name. Wear pink cleats unless it was October, and his mom had passed away from breast cancer.
Nice.
So he was going to wear them all the time. Like, he was going to wear pink somewhere, and they were like, no.
Just out of respect.
Yeah.
Nice.
Tim Tebow wasn't allowed to pray.
Yeah, I know you got a lot of flack for that one.
Right, like, currently it's huge because Tim Tebow wasn't allowed to kneel and pray after a touchdown, but everybody else can kneel before the games and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
You're
all over the place.
Right. We need to see some ground rules.
You oftentimes say, like, and I say this generally about any sport. You say, like, okay, well, it's the sport. You shouldn't have issues. Like, you're going to. You're dealing with people. Okay, just because these are professional athletes doesn't mean they're immune to doing drugs and being stupid and
outside influences.
And like even having an accident, like completely unrelated to getting in trouble. Just Dom Lagana's driving a car.
Well,
himself.
I'm going to say that's probably a little different. He's probably speeding. Well, he's probably flying.
Well, agreed, but it's one of those things where, like,
you can't take that into account.
I don't want to bash that dude. I also don't know the full story behind that.
Which
Dom Lagana?
Oh.
I don't know if there was some shit involved.
Like, you have no idea if he was drunk, if he was...
Yeah, so I don't know all of that, but my point being, like, these are just people. They're just gods. They're not, they're not immune to issues or problems or...
Right.
So the fact that all sports don't have some of this shit... I know performance-enhancing drugs in baseball has been a debacle
since from the 70s.
Yeah, and it's like, you haven't cleared that up by now? Like, you haven't...
There's always going to be loopholes that they try and...
The UFC was doing it like a couple months ago where a bunch... I think John Bones Jones got pinched for using steroids and shit. It's like, come on, dude. Like, you don't have...
So he, in that instance, I'm pretty sure he was using it to heal. he had damaged something and he was using it to heal, but it came across as a PED.
Right.
And even though it wasn't helping him necessarily,
right,
but it still comes across because you're healing faster.
Yeah. So you're essentially taking a 6 months process and you're cutting it by a couple months to...
Yeah.
So it's one of those things where, like, okay, well, you should have stuff in place for this. Again,
like regular testing or
it's difficult because different situations happen, but it seems very simple to me that, like, okay, if we have somebody involved in drug use, this happens. If we have somebody that's involved in
domestic
some violence thing, this happens.
And yeah,
if somebody is involved in, maybe saying something or being on social media that it's saying something they shouldn't have said, you do that.
Right.
Like, categorize it.
When
Lump it
you
into
sign,
a category.
When you sign a contract with the NFL and with your team, or with racing or any sport in general,
yeah,
there should be a thing that says if you do this on social media, if like nude. This. If you talk crap about, like, obviously you can talk shit, like, whatever.
Yeah.
But if you're like bringing in their family or something.
Well, I don't even think it's the fact that, like, that doesn't exist, because I've signed NCAA contracts when I played college football that had all that shit outlined in it.
Oh, okay.
It was all like, you can't do this, and this, but nothing's enforced.
That's
my biggest beef.
That's probably the biggest thing.
So you sign a contract that says you shouldn't be racist, discriminatory, sexist, anything. You shouldn't, obviously do anything under the influence of any drug while you're playing the sport. You shouldn't do, and it says all of this explicitly. We take, the first 2 weeks of camp when we get there, the first day, we don't do anything but meetings. There's NCAA reps on campus that you sign paperwork and and this is just college level shit. This has to happen in professional sports.
Right.
But nobody is there to...
They don't want to lose that athlete.
Yeah, so you just sign a legal binding contract and then don't do anything.
Yeah.
About it.
Yeah. Repercussions need to happen.
So, I don't know.
And consistently, like we said. So that's why... So going back to, like, where this came from, this Kyle Larson.
Yeah.
So I think that he's going to the 88. But Josh had asked, what do I think about the current seats that are sitting? Because we had Bubba go into Jordan. I don't even know what their team name is going to be called.
Yeah, his new thing.
Christopher Bell's going to Joe Gibbs. Alex Bowman's taking over for the 48 car. And so Bowman was in the 88. Jimmy Johnson was in the 48. Jimmy Johnson's retiring due to sponsorship reasons. Ally has made it very clear that they don't want to touch Kyle Larson.
Okay.
So they're moving Alex Bowman to the 48, which is Ally Bank, that sponsor. And they wanted someone who was already established in the team to run their car for them. So that's why I'm thinking it's going to be Kyle Larson in the 88, is because of all of that. Allies made it very clear that they don't want Kyle Larson. So Hendricks was like, okay, I'll move a guy over and we'll put him in a different car for you. You don't have to deal with him.
Yeah.
Clint Boyer obviously being done means that Chase Briscoe is probably the number one choice to take over his car, which is their Xfinity driver. I mean, he's won the most in Xfinity right now. Mm-hmm. He's a talented man. Chastain is taking over for the 42 car, which is cool. He deserves it. It's about time he got a full-time Cup ride. And then I think there's a few others that really haven't been announced yet. So, like, the 43 hasn't been announced yet. The Spire drivers haven't been announced yet. Daniel Suarez just got announced for a new team coming in, which is taking one of the Spire teams. There's so much still to happen. Mm-hmm. But I'm currently... The only thing I don't like is that Christopher Bell took over for Eric Jones. Eric Jones will always, in my opinion, be better than Christopher Bell. Christopher Bell's a whiny little bitch. I hated him in Xfinity. Hated him now. He's overrated. He's Tyler Reddick to me, which is an overrated, like, you're in the best car, of course you're going to win type of a person. Yeah. But he's just like,
yeah.
Whatever. I just don't like Christopher Bell. He's annoying.
There's people you don't like in sports.
Yeah. Ben Roethlisberger.
LeBron James.
LeBron James.
Can't stand the man.
Can't stand him.
He's got a head the size of...
But pretends that he doesn't.
A blimp. Yeah. I'm going to go off on it. He just won, didn't he?
Yeah.
Okay. He's good.
Absolutely. He's probably the best.
Good. Okay. But I saw his bitch fest about not getting the MVP spot or whatever, and you just won your 4th championship. Shut the fuck up, dude. Like,
dude, who cares?
You're not there for an MVP spot. You're there to win that 4th championship.
Yeah. What would you rather have?
Like, come on, dog. Come on. You can't do that shit. Just, That
How
I don't like
often
that shit.
do you think that Tom Brady bitched about not getting the MVP but winning 7 championships?
I do have to give that man credit.
Who?
Tom Brady.
Tom Brady.
It doesn't seem like, and I say seem like because I don't quite know, it doesn't seem like he's overly like arrogant on camera, at least.
Yeah, I in all honesty, I think I've only seen him brag once.
Yeah, like
and it generally revolves around him going like,
yeah,
with his rings, but
yeah,
and that's him just joking.
right. But you've also earned some right to be
A little, and LeBron has, he's he's the current best player in the sport.
But even like, we'll say Peyton Manning, for example,
never bragged.
I don't think I've ever seen that man be.
No, that is just like a blue collar guy.
Yeah, like it's funny to see the era because Tom comes from that era.
Yeah.
And then you see the new era quarterbacks now who they're full of themselves. Yeah, they are so full of themselves, and it's funny to just see that.
Yeah. So you even see that in our high school. So we weren't allowed to celebrate. Our celebration was just like fist bumps, high fives, shaking hands,
like
jumping up
when
on each
we
other.
say not allowed, like coach pissed not allowed, like pull you off.
Yeah. Like if you scored a touchdown, you handed the ball to the ref and got off the field.
Yeah,
you
didn't jump around, you didn't bump into your boy, you didn't touch his crotch, you didn't do anything.
I watched the game last year. We watched the game last year before the wedding.
Yeah.
And I mean they're running around, wow, yeah, like screaming after the tackle.
It's easy, dude. You tackle the guy.
Celebrate and
if you're good at what you do, this shouldn't be a celebration. Like you made a tackle. Good
you
for you.
You did your job.
You
nice.
You did what you were supposed to.
Hey, manager, I swept. Homer.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
You did your job.
Like what?
Chill. Now, if it's a big play, so when John Pierce went sideways,
yeah,
caught the ball,
yeah,
absolutely celebrate.
Yeah,
that's amazing
for sure.
But that's because it was a miracle.
Yeah, we're talking, or even like the sectional final game we won, big touchdowns, or like that was a tough fucking game. That was a grindy game. Like there was some means to like. You could celebrate. That was a celebratory moment. Yeah. Like, but you tackled your boy on third down. Like,
especially when you're 4-3.
Yeah, come on.
Nah, but yeah, it is. But that goes on to that era. But it's weird because Bronny is a part of that era. Of like, you make the basket, you go to the other end to defend.
Yeah, I don't know where he like that shifted.
Yeah. And it's actually kind of funny because in racing, you see a lot of the older guys are starting to take into that newer, like feisty.
Yeah.
Era. Like Kevin Harvick is huge on social media now, and these older drivers are massive. They're just like,
for talking shit.
Not even sometimes, yes, but some of them are just like subtle digs.
Yeah.
You know, Brad Keselowski wrecked Jimmy Johnson the other day, and he was like. A couple races ago, and Johnson's like, that was the dumbest shit I've ever seen. The number 2 car was that was reckless, whatever. And this is all social media,
right?
This is what that's happened. Social media has made celebrations better because they're recorded, and they can rewatch them and be like, look how cool I was.
Yeah.
We got off on a huge tangent.
We did. This is a big tangent day today. Camera's probably
we have to close up. We won't do movies today. But so going back to last week when Eric asked us a question about safety and causing more issues.
Yeah.
He goes, because drivers today are less likely to have serious injuries from a wreck, does this result in more dirty moves than typically acceptable? And I think that's what his question was actually trying to allude to. And 100%. Like
so you like rephrased what he said last week?
I think so. I think that's what he was trying to do. Like in LMP2 used to be open cockpit, and it was just the car without the top. There was no shield. There was nothing. It was just like a small windshield in front of you.
Mm.
And brake checking generally wouldn't end well because you're in a carbon fiber car, which breaks.
Yeah, and then you get shit going at your face.
Yeah. Your face, your body, just all that stuff, and so I think, and even we even saw this at Daytona, the first race of the year.
I think the only place that doesn't apply is MotoGP, but
Yeah,
those fucking maniacs just hit each other anyway.
yeah, they've been hitting each other for years. At Daytona, we saw Denny Hamlin make a move that he in like 10 years ago probably wouldn't have made, or he might have made, but the result wouldn't have been much different.
Yeah,
or the result would have been death for like all three of them.
Well, like okay, so the Earnhardt crash that killed him.
Right.
Okay.
He wasn't wearing all the safety stuff he was supposed to be wearing, but yeah.
Right, but I'm saying like in retrospect, compared to say a crash nowadays, I don't. I get very naive here, but God, I got gas today. Would you say that the Earnhardt crash looked less violent than some of the ones that happened today?
Oh, 100%. And it was, essentially, right?
So that just kind of proves the point that, like, there's a little more
give because the cars are just that much safer.
Yeah.
So, like, the aggressiveness and the safety would kind of always fluctuate, but be close. Like, if you're this aggressive, but the safety level is still here, so you're not killing.
Yeah.
And then the safety level would raise, so the aggression would go up.
Yeah, so it's just like a direct relationship.
You could see more people being a little more dirty or a little more risky, a little more aggressive, making crazier moves, all this stuff, because they're in safer cars, and they know that if they go and shit, I messed up that move, I'm going into the wall. It's gonna hurt, but it's not gonna be 100% death. It's gonna be whatever.
Yeah, let me just bump this real quick.
And we even saw that with football. I know we're going back and forth with football, but the better the helmets got, the more head tackling we saw.
Yeah, to the point where they had to say, "All right, you still can't do this."
Right.
Like now we have
even though
penalties.
It's theoretically safe.
Yeah.
You're still
now you get
there's
penalized
still too much
when you ram your head into somebody.
Yeah. So I think so.
I would agree.
All right, let's end this because
you don't want to put the Tom sucks in the.
Yeah, I don't want to put Tom sucks. We have stickers coming soon. They will be on hwracing.net. Go check that out for merch, donations, subscribe, all the things.
Yes.
If you don't watch the video, please listen, because we still can use some support either way.
Yeah.
New merch is on there. There's some new stuff that I haven't posted.
Oh.
Saving it for a rainy day.
Oh.
What else we got?
My main
we're doing an invitational. I have to stop it. We're doing an invitational, not this coming Sunday, but the following, the 25th of October.
Okay.
At 1 p.m. Be there. We're doing it for Stack Up. Oh, also, if you buy merch, all profits go directly to Stack Up till the end of October. Because Mental Health Awareness Day or something like that was Friday, I think. Or no, it was Saturday. One of those days. But we made an announcement saying that we want to help people spread the word about mental health and all that kind of stuff.
Yes.
So, donate to Stack Up, which the link is on our website. If any donations that we get on our stream directly to Stack Up, any profits from the merch directly to Stack Up till October 31st.
Yeah.
And possibly longer, we'll see.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're a great company, so.
Yeah.
All right, now you can go ahead.
All right, Rogue Energy. HWR 2020. Your boy saved $10 the other day from our code because your boy bought the new shit. Woo! They just came out with a new shaker. It's orange.
Shaker. Orange and black. For
Orange and
spooky
black.
Season.
It's very spoopy.
Spoopy.
It's that like transparent orange too, which is really.
Yeah.
It's a full size, 24 ounce, I believe. Is it right? The full size.
Yeah, it's a big boy.
And then I had to get my strawberry kiwi while it's in stock because that's just the best flavor, hands down.
Yeah.
And then I got the new Extreme, Green Apple Extreme. I'll let y'all know how it is. Pretty pumped because they said it's a little sour, so I'm like, that might be good.
If it's sour, bring me some. I want to try it.
Yeah, that might be good. I mean, you're gonna be wound till 5 a.m, but like that'll be pretty good.
When am I not?
True. So I'll let you guys know how that goes.
Yeah, I'm excited. That'd be cool. Pavilion Machine Tool. Thank you, as always, for being the OG. Gave you the truck. So the truck's
how'd that go?
It's good.
Yeah.
It's good. I wish I looked better, but
Yeah. Well.
it's tough because it's tiny.
Yeah.
And it's like a homemade thing. So
Yeah.
we move.
Yeah. Big party sound with the fire beats.
This was obviously recorded on a GoPro, so thank you GoPro again, as always, for making this stuff happen and possible and making us look good on race cars.
This right here, ladies and gentlemen, is a helmet, and they go in helmet bags made by Ojo.
It would have been way better if I had it out. Damn, that was a good plug. That was
That
good.
was pretty good. I just thought of that. 'cause I
Ojo,
looked
thank
over
you
at it.
guys. And last but not least,
The man, the myth, the legend.
thank you for making our stickers. And
I'm gonna stick one on my ass
oh my god,
and streak with. Now, we got to do something for the year episode.
well, yeah, we still have like 5 weeks though, 6 weeks.
I might take
7
my shirt
weeks.
off during the episode.
Please don't. So yeah,
It would
thanks
drive
everybody.
views to the YouTube channel.
It wouldn't. It
It
would
would.
actually get us demonetized and sent to jail. Public
I do
indecency.
have titties, so
Um,
I'll get pasties from a nipple.
dude, you haven't been in it.
Huh?
You're leaning outside of the camera.
Am I really?
You're the worst.
Let me see. Yes. Hi. I didn't know that. Why does it?
You're so stupid.
I was leaning this way because I could look at you.
Goodbye.
Squeeze.